What's up, my reseller friends? My name is Sabrina. I am a full-time reseller out of Southern California. I thrift to resell on eBay, Mercari, and a tiny bit on Poshmark. Now in this video, I'm going to quickly show you some of my what solds. Now this is a few days worth of sales backed up. I went out of town this weekend for my husband's graduation. He graduated from Georgia Tech with his master's degree in computer science. So I'm super proud of him. Shout out to my husband. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. So normally I ship every single day. That includes Saturday and Sunday. And I do have my listings set up as a top rated plus. So that means that I offer free returns and I ship within 1 business day. But because I was out of town for a few days, I wasn't able to do that. So things are a little different for me today. I do have probably the most things I've ever had to process for shipping in a single day. So this is gonna be a really long morning for me. But I thought this would be a great opportunity to physically show you the things that are getting shipped out. But first, I did want to talk about something that I did notice because I think it's important that this is mentioned. So like I had said before, I do like to have all my listings turned on as a top rated plus. And I know there's a lot of resellers out there that always question, is it worth it? Now, every store is different. It really depends on the types of things you sell and what your policies are. But for me, I have noticed that it really does make a difference. And I do want to show you my chart for the weekend. Do you see here these 2 days, Thursday and Friday? Well, half of the day on Thursday, I did have to turn it off because I wasn't able to ship in 1 business day. And then also for the second half of Friday, I did not have my store as top rated plus during those days. And as you can see from the chart, those were the slowest of the last 5 days or so. But I've noticed this as a trend. This always happens if I'm going out of town or I just can't ship on a particular day and I have to not have that top rated plus status on my listings. My sales really do decrease. So my advice to you is if you are considering doing that, offering the free returns and shipping within 1 business day, I say try it, see if it works for your store and see if your sales go up. I think they will, but you know, like I said, everybody's different. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you the things that sold for me. All right, so this first item is a Cabbage Patch Kid. It's not a vintage one. I think this one was kind of like from the early 2000s. Let me see. Yeah, I don't have it in the description. I think I didn't really know. But this one did sell for $13 plus the cost of shipping. This is the Star Wars Episode 3 DS Nintendo game. This one actually was my husband's, but I'm pretty sure we did buy this at a yard sale a couple summers ago. This sold for $50. I actually had it listed for $55. Someone sent me an offer for $50. I have had it listed for about a month. So that was a really fair offer, I think, and I went ahead and accepted it. This lot of 4 audiobooks sold for $16, free shipping. I did accept an offer on this. I think I had it listed for $20. Now, my advice on audiobooks. Audiobooks are good for your eBay store if you sell media. I recommend buying them, but I only recommend buying them if you can buy them in bulk. Because this is the problem. A lot of them aren't worth a lot by themselves, but they do sell pretty good if you bundle them. So when you go to a yard sale and you see these, I recommend just asking the seller if they'll take like $5 for everything or whatever you feel would be appropriate. Because if you're just gonna sit there and scan all these, it's not gonna be worth your time. My advice is just buy the lot. And most likely, you may have a couple of gems in there that are maybe worth like over $10 if you sell them separately, but most of them are probably gonna do better if you bundle them. So yeah, I had bought, it was just a regular size bin and it was full of audiobooks and I paid $5 for the whole thing. And I did, as I recommended, I just asked the seller, would you take $5 for the whole bin? And they said yes. Doesn't hurt to ask. Worst case, they say sorry, or they'll counter offer you. Same thing that we do, right? Next is this Angel's hat. Now, when I bought it, I didn't realize, because it looks like in really good condition from the outside, but I didn't realize that it looked pretty ugly inside. Like, that's gross. Honestly, I would never buy a hat that looks yellow inside of it. But some people are really good at cleaning hats. I'm not. This hat really wasn't worth that much, even with it clean. So I wasn't gonna waste my time cleaning it. So I listed it really cheap. I put it for $10 free shipping. I probably paid 50 cents for it, $1 at the most. It was better. I'd rather just list it for cheap and get like $1 or $2 for it than just like toss it, especially if I could just list it really easy. Like, hats are really easy to take pictures and store and ship and all that. So I had no problem still listing it. But it was funny because I actually sent out an offer for this. And what I did was, when I go through and send offers on eBay, I normally do them in bulk just because it saves more time. But since this was already really cheap at $10, I just selected 5% off, right? Because it was already really cheap. So I sent out the offer, and I believe it sent it to 2 different buyers, right? And both of those buyers ended up sending me a message, a private message. And the first buyer asked, would you take 8 for it? And honestly, I was fine with that. I just, I feel like it probably is worth $8 anyways because of the way it looks inside. So I responded and I said yes, and then I responded with an offer of $8. So the other message that I got from the other buyer, it was a message complaining. Basically, he said, you've only offered me a 40-cent discount, and it looks pretty dirty inside. So I just responded, and this is the thing. I hate responding to messages like that. Like, if it were up to me, I would just not respond at all. It's not even worth my time and energy. But the thing is, it's something that I have realized is that eBay doesn't like it when you don't respond to messages. Like, if you just ignore a message, that's not good for your account. So I have to respond with something. So all I said was I responded and I said, I am aware of the condition. Thank you for your feedback. My price reflects the condition. Or I said something like that. Anyways, that other buyer that I sent the offer for $8 accepted it and it sold. So yeah, this is going up for $8. Next is this Ken doll. He's actually from one of the Barbie movies, and a lot of times the dolls that are based off of the Barbie movies sell pretty good. And I had him listed for $50, and I listed him in February of last year, and I just kept dropping the price, and he finally sold for $18 free shipping. But you know what? $18 is still pretty good, right? So yeah, he's finally going to a home. Next is a Torrid jacket. It's just a regular denim jacket. There really is nothing too special about it. But I love Torrid. I always pick up Torrid, and I love to sell it. For one, I just love Torrid's style of clothes. And for two, they just sell really well. I think I did overpay for this one though. I had gone to a yard sale, and the girl running the sale had everything set up really nice. Like, she had all these racks set up and she had all of her clothes, and I think she was trying to like earn money for something. I actually really liked her. Like, the two of us, we ended up kind of like having a long conversation. Most of the time that I was at that sale, I was just talking to her because we had a lot in common. We were both like Disney fans, and she was like into Star Wars and all this stuff, and she was going to Disneyland that weekend, and I think I was going that weekend too. So we just kind of like were really like bonding over things over common interests. So I really liked her, and I felt bad. Like, I wanted to buy something from her sale because, I just kind of wanted to support her. And I believe she was selling this one for $5. And like I said, guys, I don't like to spend that much money on stuff. And it did sell for $15 plus shipping. And I'll be able to fit this into one of those flat rate padded envelopes. So this will only cost about $9 to ship. And I did actually have it listed for $20, and then someone sent me the offer for $15. I took it. At the end of the day, I probably only made like what maybe like $7 or $8. I don't know. But it was, I guess it's still worth it. I've got some little princess dolls from the Disney store. Here, I'll take some of them out. They're so cute. Like, I honestly wanted to just keep them. I have like a little jewelry box in my bathroom that has these little characters on them. They're so cute. But what am I going to do with them? I have no place to put them. I got these off of Facebook Marketplace. I had bought, I filled up my car full of stuff that I bought off of this person who bought a storage unit, and he sold me all the toys that were in there. So that came from that. I think I paid like $140 for everything, but I also got like 2 bins full of CDs and a whole, like, I filled up my whole car with stuff. This was a part of it. And I had these listed for $20 plus the cost of shipping. Someone sent me an offer for $15 and I took it. We've got Blood Diamond Blu-ray. This sold for $6 full. Got some LuLaRoe leggings. Nothing too special about them. This is the pattern. Oh, but these are the tall and curvy leggings, and I like to pick those up. This is the thing with LuLaRoe. The market is saturated. There's so much of it. So if you're gonna sell LuLaRoe, you gotta buy it cheap and sell it cheap. Otherwise, it's gonna sit forever, with the exception if you find like the Disney ones. And of course, there's probably some other rare ones. I have a friend that used to sell LuLaRoe, and she used to talk to me about there were certain patterns that were worth money. I don't know. I've never found any gems like that. I have found the Disney ones, and the Disney ones do sell really well for me. So I always recommend picking up those. But if you are going to sell LuLaRoe, just make sure that you're getting them for really cheap. There's been so many yard sales that I've gone to where someone's like trying to get rid of all their LuLaRoe merchandise, and it's a whole bunch of like new tags. But the problem is, it's like, I'm only going to buy these if they're like $1 or less. Otherwise, they're sometimes even $1 is too much. Get these for 50 cents. Again, like I said, unless there's something special about them. I purchased a bin full of Hot Wheel cars, and I spent $20 for the whole thing. And this was in it. It's just like a model airplane, and it's really in bad condition. There's lots of little pieces broken off. So I did just list it for $10, and I listed it for parts of repair. Because yeah, this is in really, really poor condition. But it sold for $10, and it was in the bin anyways. So I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna take this out of the bag, but it is just an Olaf shirt. I think it says Frozen Fever on it. It's a toddler 4T shirt, and it's a Disney store. I always pick up Disney store stuff, especially if I can get them really cheap. I bought this in a bundle of a whole bunch of baby clothes for $40. This sold for $8 free shipping. This is a lot of Eddie Murphy DVDs. I think there's 11 of them in here. I always like to, when I buy DVDs in bulk, I always like to separate bundles of DVDs to sell, the ones that aren't worth a lot. And yeah, luckily this lot that I had, it had a lot of like the same actors. So instead of separating them into genres, I separated them into actors. So yeah, this is all Eddie Murphy, and this sold for $20. So I have a story about this one. I had bought this sweater probably in the summer of 2019. And this is Abby Dawn, and this is Avril Lavigne's clothing line that she sold at Kohl's. But I think she sold these kind of like, maybe like early 2000s, mid 2000s, somewhere around there. When she like first came out, I think. I'm not sure, guys. I know it was like in the 2000s though. But I bought this at a yard sale, paid 50 cents for it, I'm pretty sure. And I listed it on eBay for really cheap. I think it was like 15 bucks or something like that. There's stains on it. There's probably like 5 different little stains. I had it listed for $15. And then recently I was going through some of my inventory and I found this and I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure that this is no longer on my eBay store. Like I haven't seen it on there in a long time. So I went back to check and well, sure enough, it wasn't listed. I was like, what happened? And I was trying to remember, and I think what happened was I think somebody bought it and didn't pay for it, and then I never ended up relisting it. I think that's what happened. So I had this sitting in my inventory for like 2 years and it wasn't even listed on eBay. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just make a fresh new listing and take new pictures of it and, you know, reevaluate its value. Well, upon doing that, I noticed that the comps on this actually like went up a lot by like double. A lot of her stuff is like selling for like $50 to $100. So these are bolos. Look for the Abby Dawn. That's what it's called. So because this had a bunch of stains on it, I listed it at $30 plus shipping or best offer. And in less than a week, it sold for my full asking price. I do know I only paid $1 for this. My mom actually found it when she went thrifting with me one day when she was visiting. It's a vintage Raiders starters jersey. And this sold for $50 plus shipping. This Nike hat, it is Nike One. It's a golf hat. This is brand new with tags. I found it at a yard sale and this sold for $30 plus the cost of shipping. Next is this little llama guy. He is by Spark Create Imagine. I've had him listed since January and he only sold for $10 free shipping. A Tonka hard hat sold for $5 plus the cost of shipping. This also came from that lot that I bought from the guy that had the storage unit. When Christmas ended, Hot Topic had a sale where they had a bunch of t-shirts for $5. So I did do some online retail entourage and I bought this Loki shirt. It was only $5. I bought a couple of them and this sold for, what is it? $23. Next is this Looney Tunes fabric. It had all of, like the Looney Tunes characters on it. I really don't want to take it out of the bag because it's folded up so nicely. This sold for $15. Again, yard sale, super cheap. I like to pick up fabrics, especially the vintage fabrics. They sell really well for me. Sold this CD for $11. I actually had it listed for $15. Somebody sent me an offer for $11 and I took it. I just like to sell CDs fast. I don't try to make a lot of money off of them. If I could just make a couple dollars off of these CDs, I'm fine with it. They're really easy to list and ship and all that kind of stuff. This also came from the storage unit guy. It's a lot of 2 incredible action figure dolls. These sold for $8 plus the cost of shipping. Really have no idea what this little girl is. I figured out who she is by just using Google Lens, but I guess it's Beverly Hills Doll Collection Sweet Little Family Toddler Girl. That's what she is. She sold, I had her listed for $10, our best offer. Someone sent me an offer for $6, I counter offered $8 and they accepted. This little lot of finger puppets, it's kind of mixed. It has some Paw Patrol, some Baby Shark, and some like zoo animals. This sold for $12, free shipping. I'm so embarrassed that I don't know how to pronounce this. What is it? Lacoste? Lacoste? It's the one that has a little alligator logo on it. How do I pronounce it? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, this had flaws on it. I think that there were stains. Let's see. I just have on here that it's damaged. I forget what was wrong with it. But this sold for $10, free shipping. I buy t-shirts at yard sales. Like, I don't really even look at them if they're cheap. Like, if I'm digging on the floor at looking through clothes and they tell me that everything's like 50 cents, I'll just grab stuff. I don't really take the time to examine them. So a lot of times when I get home and after washing these and you know, getting a better look, I'll notice that there's flaws. And most of the time, I still list them. I just disclose in the listing that there's flaws. Always put that in the title too, that there's flaws. This Maxi Doll sold for $6. I'm like gonna make nothing off of this. But I've had this listed for like 2 years and I just wanted her gone. The Mini Cricket is a McDonald's toy. I still sell McDonald's toys if they'll sell for at least $7 because, you know, it's almost impossible to buy some sort of toy grab bag without there being McDonald's toys in them. So I'll check comps on them. And if they're worth at least $7, I'll list them. So he was worth $7 and he sold for $7. And I think he was only listed for a couple weeks. So no complaints. It's just a regular Eileen Fisher blouse. It's a sleeveless. Sold for $24. This Swiss Gear laptop bag sold for $10 plus the cost of shipping. Not very much. I think I paid $3 for it at Savers, I want to say. And this was not a good buy. I thought that it would sell for more. I should have looked up comps while I was there. But you know, we all make mistakes. No biggie. I sold this lot of Star Wars figurines. $10 plus the cost of shipping. I had these listed since June and almost a year, right? And they finally sold. This is a lot of 2 Skylander Xbox 360 games. They sold for $18, free shipping on Mercari. A lot of 2 LPS coloring books. I love selling coloring books. These sold for $10, free shipping on Mercari. This lot of Legos, these are Mickey, Minnie, and either Chip or Dale, one of them. This lot sold for $13 on Mercari, free shipping. And the way I'm planning on shipping this is I am gonna put it inside a little cardboard because I have the manual in here. I just don't want this to bend. So I'm gonna put it in this cardboard and then I'm sticking it inside one of these envelopes and it still came out to under 4 ounces. So that's good. The very last item, it is a Poshmark sale. Guys, I have a whole video on Poshmark. I'll link it below. I started off with Poshmark, so I have a little bit of a special place in my heart for them, but ultimately I have a lot of complaints. So I did quit Poshmark, and that video that I made was about why. I did actually come back to them, which I am gonna make a follow-up video really soon as to why. Ultimately, I think they just disappointed the buyers and the sellers, because I actually use Poshmark more as a buyer and I'm really disappointed with my shopping experience with it. It just really has gone downhill and their search engine just sucks. Yeah, so I do sell a little bit on Poshmark. I would say probably about 5% of my items are on there. But this is one of them and it is a Darth Maul costume. This is another one that I regretted picking up. I really did pay up for this. I think I paid $10. It was either $5 or $10, but I'm thinking it was $10. And that was way too much to pay for it. It ended up selling for $30. So I guess I did make, you know, decent money off of it, but I bought this before Halloween. So I've had this for a long time and it finally sold. But also these Star Wars figures, I've had these for a long time too. And both of these sold the weekend of the May the 4th. So it probably has something to do with that. But yeah, those are all my sales. If you stuck around and watched this whole video, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. If you haven't checked out my last video, I did do a tour of my inventory workspace. I'll link that below. Make sure to check that one out. Never forget, when you thrift upon a star, all your dreams will come true. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. The garbage truck is coming by.